Okay, so in this video we will talk about formatting options and larger fonts versus small fonts and page turns and so on. So let's begin by going to my table cam. Here we have my table cam, and here I have two examples. We have the KOReader here running KOReader, and we have the Onyx Books Palma running KOReader. And both are turned on now and doesn't have any front light on whatsoever. By the way, you can see that the Palma is a bit darker display than the KOReader. I don't like that, and I think that's because I have some kind of screen protector on this from the fabric, but I am afraid of removing it, so I will see if I can do that later on when I've used it more. But now it has a screen protector on from the fabric, and I think that's the reason why it's darker. But here we see, for example, the KOReader. I have got some comments on my YouTube channel about that. They think I have a very large font size, but I have reading glasses normally, so I want to have a larger font size when reading. And to me that is not a problem. I think those people that doesn't like to have as large font and says that you need to turn the page often and so on because I have a large font, I think those people are those that used physical real books for a very long time and was afraid to switch to ebook readers, actually, because I think they want the ebook reader to look as much as the real book as possible, so they want to have the same font size as a real book and so on. But I don't like that, because that means that you have to read a lot more text before you turn the page, and I think that is not what ebook readers are meant for. Ebook readers are meant for that you can customize the text exactly as you want it, so you will read comfortably whatsoever in whatsoever environment, in dark environments, in light environments, and so on. So I think the reason for e-readers to be as popular as possible is that you can format the text exactly as you want it. So for example, you see here that I don't hardly have any margins at the sides. And this, as I said, the text, the font is very large, but you can still easily turn the page in KOReader, because I have customized it so you can click anywhere on the page to turn the page forward. So I can click here to go forward, I can click here to go forward, and so on. So I can click anywhere to go forward. I think that's nice, because I don't need to swipe or something, so I just need to tap to go forward. So be able to go back again, I need to swipe. That's the only way to go back for me. And that is not a problem for me, because I hardly go back. Sometimes I go back a page or two and then I just swipe, so no problem whatsoever. So it's so easy to hold this in left hand or in right hand and just click on the display to go forward. No problem whatsoever. I can do the same with the right hand, as you see. That makes it very easy to turn pages on an e-reader. So having a larger font is actually not a problem. And as you see here, some comments also on the Books Palma, they think it's too small and the display is too small, so you don't fit as much text as possible and so on. But as you see here, yes, the text is a bit smaller than on the KOReader, but you see, you have the same words on the lines, and down here you see that this is the same book on both e-readers. You see on the Onyx Books Palma it has 1321 pages, but on the KOReader that is wider but not as tall, the display itself, it has 1600 pages to turn. So the Onyx Books Palma almost has the same font size, but you have less pages to turn because it has a taller display. So people that complains about that they have too many page turns to do for a book can actually have less page turn on an Onyx Books Palma. If you have no margins, you can have large font and still have less page turns than on the Kobo Klara here. So that is also something to think of when you are buying an e-reader. So, and as you see, I like to have minimal margins when reading, but I like to have large margins between the paragraphs, if you know what I mean. I like to have that, as you see here, empty space, empty space. I like that because that makes me reading a lot faster. So I format the text to have large paragraph spacing between paragraphs, and I have no margins because I want to have as large font as possible. Then I need to have very tiny margins to be able to fit at least 3 words on every line. That is a must for me. I want to have 3 words at the minimum on every line. So if I have 3 words on every line on both these devices, then I still have more page turns to do on this and then on this. But that doesn't matter for me. Page turns are so nice because it feels that you're reading fast. So every time I do a page turn, I think that's a way to have exactly the speed you want to read in. It feels that you read a book faster than having a lot of text on the same display, the same page. To me, it's harder to know where I am if I have a smaller font. I need to use reading glasses, and I don't know. Sometimes maybe I lost the place I am at and so on. So the larger the font is for me, the easier it is for me to know where exactly I am in the text when reading. So to me, it doesn't matter if I need to turn pages. You see how fast I can turn pages. So you don't need to bother with page turns. It's so easy to turn pages. So I don't know why people complaining about large fonts and why they don't like more page turns, because that is not a problem, as you see. And on the Onyx Books Palma even, you have page turn buttons on the side, so you can do it even faster. You just click to go forward in the book, as you see. Works great with this button on the side. So no complaint there either. I think this works so nice when reading. So that was a bit about the formatting options, and I use a font, Atkinson Hyperlegible Next, on these 2 devices. It's a new release of the Atkinson Hyperlegible, and that is a font that makes it very easy to read, especially when you are having a bad eyesight and need reading glasses and so on. This is a nice font to have, because you can make it large and you can make it bold with the settings in KOReader. So that is what I like. And by the way, this is also a way to have you read more. Actually, I have the progress bar for chapter instead of the book. And here I see how many pages left in the chapter. So every time I go back, forward in the book, you see the progress bar is larger, and you see how many pages left, as you see there. This is really nice to have when reading, because that means that you get a carrot for reading more. Every time you start a new chapter, you see this progress bar, and it grows every time you turn the page. That makes me at least read more and faster. Okay, I think that's it for this video. I just want to let you know, because I get some comments about why I have as large font as I have, and I completely agree that some people want to have a small font with a lot of text on the display at the same time, but that is not for me, because I think this is the way to use an e-reader. You should turn up the text as large as possible for your comfortable reading, and you don't need to glare, you don't need to your eyes don't need to focus more and so on, the larger the font is. So I think this is the best way, at least for me, and I think it's a better way for a lot of other users too. And I think some users are afraid of trying to have a larger font because they want it to look like a real book with a small font. But that is not, I think, what e-readers are meant for. Okay, bye.